Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I'm here with Dr. Scott Lynn. Dr. Scott Lynn is one of the world's foremost experts in ground forces, and he works here at the Be Better Golf School sometimes. So we just had, 15, 16 people.
Yeah, the last
like
3 days.
The last 3 days. Scott has really been, at first, working only with elite players on the Swing Catalyst. He's the research director for this thing called the Swing Catalyst, which is like the ultimate tool for figuring out what you're doing into the ground with golf, baseball too, some other things. But Scott, that is expensive, okay? And not everybody, not most people who are watching YouTube videos that want to get more ground force will be able to buy one. But if you're trying to get all the benefits of using the Swing Catalyst, or most of the benefits of using the Swing Catalyst, but you don't have it, what are some kind of low-tech ways we can do that?
Well, I think, you know, we've worked with you yesterday and we're trying to get you more centered and rotated, right? Because you tend to get way to the right. Yeah. So slidey. Yeah. So those are two ground forces. So the side to side or the horizontal and the rotational or the torque that I think are kind of trade-offs, right? Once you go more horizontal, it's hard to get a lot of torque, and once you get a lot of torque, it's hard to get a lot of horizontal. So what I would do is kind of do like a little Goldilocks drill.
Yeah.
So the first one I want you to hit, I want you to get way right. You can kind of do the Bubba Watson takeaway, kind of have your knees kiss, get up on your toe.
Okay.
Get way horizontal and then hit one for me.
So I'm going to go like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
See what happens. Okay, a little hooky.
Yeah.
245 carry, 109 club speed. Okay, so now I want you to do the complete opposite of that. I want you to get more centered in your backswing, kind of what we were working on yesterday. And I want you to get that
instead of
torque.
Like going over the outside of my foot and kissing this, I'm going to go inside here.
Yeah.
And then hands a little deeper and torque, torque the ground, meaning that way.
Pushing forward and backwards instead.
Going inside here.
Yep. Good. We got you to 117 yesterday doing this. Let's see it. That was bombed.
That's straight.
So that was 163 ball speed, 112 club speed, and 283 carry. So 40 yards more carry.
Yeah.
So we've just Goldilocks and said, hey, I want to get you more rotational.
So if we're on the spectrum here between that and that, like I need to live somewhere.
Yeah, he needs to live in a more rotational area. So now we did a drill yesterday with the bands to get you more rotational.
Yeah, let's do that real quickly.
Sure. Hope I don't snap your driver here. Move the hand to the other side.
Oh, yeah, I'll kind of hold it.
Okay, so turn back. Now turn through. Good. So you'll notice anytime we're trying to teach people ground forces, we're trying to pull in the opposite direction of how we want him to push into the ground.
Yeah.
So you see, I'm trying to pull you this way.
Try to knock me over.
And you're trying to push to get yourself moving in the opposite direction, right? Yeah. And so had you been a horizontal player, say the opposite of happened when you did your little Goldilocks drill, then I want you to get more horizontal, then I would pull in the opposite direction. So I would do this drill. So now you would take it to the top, and I would pull you this way so you learn how to go horizontal. Okay?
I can do that.
Yeah. So that's one that's dialed with you, but it's interesting that you're slower and you don't hit it quite as far.
Yeah, yeah.
So often people will get into patterns that are opposite to what is optimal for them, and they have to work their way out of it.
Yeah, Scott does some really cool tests that he worked out with himself and Mike Adams and some of these coaches where not even swinging a club, you can kind of figure out what your best forces would be between horizontal torque and vertical, and I forget which one it was, maybe or jumping and turning or something like that, but it was quite high in the test for me. Torque was like really high, but in the in my actual swing, I'm not using any of that ability that I have to torque the ground, so that's kind of where it comes from.
And then you were telling me earlier today that you think you were doing some things where you were getting like this and you injured your wrist or something like that because you were really
hurt my elbow. I was extending and throwing, rather than flexing and turning through it.
Right.
So a video we did with Lynn.
And I think we have some hypotheses that a lot of times golf injuries come from you trying to do something that doesn't match what your body does very well. So, I mean, we have no scientific evidence for that. It's kind of anecdotal, but
there's a force that we haven't talked about much,
which is vertical.
Which is vertical.
Right.
That you're saying is very just a very gentle little bump on my graph that could
move up.
Maybe we could get even more.
Sure, and that's where if I was going to do that, if I wanted you to get torque and vertical, if you do that drill again on the behind you. Yep. So if I want to make this more, you notice the first time I only wanted to get torque, so I was up here.
Yeah.
So if I change that vector and I come down here, so now turn back, now turn through. So now he's getting vertical and torque because I've changed the vector at which I'm pulling. Good. Okay, and this could be done in a gym. If you have a cable machine that the cable moves up and down, you could do the same thing. And so alter that. So if you want more vertical, it needs to be lower, pulling up.
Let's go do something because we have it available
Let's
here.
do it.
Let's walk over there. Lee, you can plug that in for us, and we're gonna head up. All right, we're in the gym. So here at the Grand, where we do the Be Better Golf Schools, a lot of them. They got a full little gym here, and you get this is something that's in most normal gyms.
Most gyms. And the best thing about this cable machine is you can alter the height of this. And so it's okay to just use, like, you know, some places have like a rope attachment for this. This one has like a golf kind of attachment, which might be kind of interesting. This thing kind of looks like a golf handle, so that could be good. So you can mess with whatever the handle attachment that you want. I know a lot of strength coaches that use something called what's a strap that like wraps around your body.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of times they assume that they're getting a lot of rotation, but I've seen people who have the what's a strap wrapped around them and they're standing, I'll do a left-handed swing, they're standing like this. And so even though that strap's wrapped around them and they're getting some rotation, what's the net pull on this vector from me? It's horizontal, right? So it's going to create that horizontal tight pattern. And so if I want to get torque, I got to stand so this thing's pulling me straight forward. So it'd be like this. You're going to load and explode up. So you can kind of lock it by your hip, load, explode up. So that would be your torque drill.
Scott, you don't have to like go really heavy. It's more.
No, yeah.
So I'm going. Is this right?
Yep.
Oh, hold on. Oh, hold
Do you want to use the handle? The handle might be easier. That little golf club attachment, isn't it? Good. There you go. Good.
Okay.
So that's good. And now we talked about he doesn't have much vertical, and make a hypothesis maybe some more vertical. Can we hit up on it more? Whatever that is.
Yeah.
So now we want to make this more vertical. So now we do the same thing.
Vector this lower.
Take the vector lower. No, you're still. That's a horizontal and vertical. Okay. So to stand this way, that's a torque and vertical. Yeah.
So I'm going.
So just lock it at your hip there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then turn it. There you go.
Yeah, that's more of an up and.
Yeah, that's more of an up and torque. So now we're combining vertical, and look at his left foot. He's starting to jump off the ground a little bit. You're getting our TPI rainbow foot.
Good. All right, instant fix. 117 plus.
All right, let's see it.
Let's do it.
What was it, 112, last one?
109 horizontal, 112.
Torque.
Totally torque.
Now verticals. All right, here we go. Get the launch monitor.
Yep.
So you got it, beat 112 club, 163 ball, 283 carry.
Just like I was doing that machine.
Yeah. Maybe a little low on the face.
64.
64 and 115. Perfect. So we've added vertical, 115, 164. So yeah, a little spinny, missed the face, but that's 3 miles an hour more. So you went up 3 miles an hour each time.
That's awesome.
109, 112, 116.
Yeah. And it could be the opposite
15.
for a different player. A different player
Sure.
could say, oh, no, my horizontal's better.
And we had examples of that in this golf school, right? We had 3 or 4 players
every
that needed to go this way. Yeah.
Yeah. Ball went far, but
284, 113.
let me try one more.
Give me that up and back. Turn that band. Yeah, there you go. Like starting a lawnmower. Left the face open a bit. That was hit hard.
Yeah. 115. All right, so 109, 112, 115, and then as you keep working on this, hopefully it becomes like less of a honeymoon thing, that's just kind of changes the brain, but you're actually physically better at doing it because you're changing the muscles.
Yeah, and all of these can be overdone. So you might get a little too vertical, which can mess with some strikes and things, and so you got to find what's optimal for you. So sometimes you might have to bring it back a little bit, and like maybe you do a bunch of those verticals for a while, you find that gets out of control, then you do the torque drill for a bit. So these are all things that you have to kind of dial in, because there can be too much of a good thing too. So that's why I like that Goldilocks drill, to kind of keep it in the middle.
So you don't need the swing catalyst, but the thing is that there is no player that only uses just one or just two of the forces. Everybody uses all three.
Yeah.
So it probably won't hurt you much to be doing some of these things on your own, like incorporate it into your feel, and flip-flop it between feeling some of this stuff and hitting balls on the range, and just use your eyes as the test. Be like, hey, where am I hitting it more solid? Where is it going better?
Sure.
And that's probably the best thing you can do if you're just going to try to DIY it.
Perfect.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you're interested more in Be Better Golf Schools, we're going to be doing more of these. So go to bebettergolf.net/school. I'll have information about whenever the next ones are coming up, or send me an email, contactbebettergolf@gmail.com. If you'd like a lesson on the Swing Catalyst, one of their authorized instructors, go to swingcatalyst.com. You can see where their authorized instructors are. And sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes, Scott is even seeing people at his secret facility somewhere in California. So just send me an email, and I'll link you through to him. See you later. Bye.
Perfect.